Just yesterday, Conor McGregor agreed to fight Dustin Poirier in the UFC and said they would like the fight to happen this year. Dustin Poirier thanked Conor McGregor and posted this on his Twitter saying, "I fight for a lot of things, but nothing more important to me than fighting for a change and giving back to the Good Fight Foundation. The generosity of Conor McGregor will help countless in need. I have accepted, Conor has accepted, and the fans demand it. Let's go." Tony Ferguson responded back saying, "What a sellout. Taking a bribe from an international terrorist. Good job, kid. I respect America. All that talk about fight game only to be afraid and be left behind out of the loop. Take the money and be proud, fake." Rafael dos Anjos recently tested positive for COVID-19 and is out of his bout with Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev reacted and posted this on his Twitter saying, "RDA is out. Yo, Michael Chandler, here's your chance to jump on the island." He followed up with, "Oh, Charles Oliveira." He ended it off with, "BS guy, Dan Hooker can come see me too. We don't need to sell tickets now." Dustin Poirier on the UFC Unfiltered podcast breaks down Khabib versus Gaethje.
Man, it's tough to say. I think stylistically, Gaethje can give him some trouble if he keeps his feet in the center of the octagon. But saying that and actually doing that when Khabib was charging you was a totally different thing. I thought the same thing too. I'm going to box and move around and show good footwork. And then I got in front of him and I got pinned against the fence over and over again. I think if the wrestling happens against the fence, Khabib is going to do the same thing he always does. But I do think if the wrestling happens in the open, that Gaethje will be able to stop some takedowns, maybe fatigue Khabib's arms a little bit where big shots will open up. Because, you know, Gaethje throws a lot of big overhands, a lot of looping shots that in the open, in the center of the cage, could really hurt Khabib. I mean, it's dangerous to reach and grab for low kicks, you know, and he could come up.
Right.
You could turn that low kick into a high kick, a lot of different things. So reaching down to grab low kicks. Now body kicks could be probably take him down every time he throws one, but leg kicks are different, man. Leg kicks, and now everybody's blasting calves. That's a whole different ballgame. I do a thing where I switch stance when I'm throwing my cross, and I turn it into a jab, and then I throw my right hand as an overhand. It covers a lot of distance. You see guys like TJ Dillashaw have a lot of success with switching stance in MMA. Guys, a lot of times, guys who've been fighting a long time feel like they're out of range and right out of danger's way. And if you follow them switching stance and throwing power shots like that, you can really catch these guys on the end of big shots. And I think, you know, that's what I tried to do there. I tried a few times. I've had success with a lot of guys doing it, with Hooker, with Max. You know, a lot of fights I've done it well. But Khabib pulled and turned just out of. I mean, a couple inches difference would have made the shot land a lot more. But you know, that's fighting. It grazed him for sure.
I think training in my underwear is my favorite thing about having my own gym.
Brother, this is Sambo.
Yes. Sambo and wrestling.
Very good. No, I'm awesome.
Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast speaks on fighters decline to fight Khamzat Chimaev.
Khamzat Chimaev, he's calling out everybody and nobody wants to fight him. And I understand, right? Michael Chiesa gave an interview from Yas Island the other day saying, why am I going to risk my ranked place against somebody that's not even ranked? So I understand and I respect Chimaev for wanting to fight these champions and stuff like that. But everybody wants to do that. You want to come in and fight for the belt, but you got to earn that place. And now everybody's kind of like, nah, I'm not fighting Chimaev. That's what Chiesa said. That's what Stephen Wonderboy Thompson said. And I think that's what Leon Edwards said as well. If you want the opportunities, and people always talk about this, they say, oh, company men. You know what I mean? It's a term that gets thrown around like it's an insult, but it's not. It's you're being a guy, a fighter that they can depend on, a guy that they can call potentially on short notice and, hey, you ready to fight? And you say, yeah, you know why? Because I'm a professional and I look after myself. And yeah, I've got 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, I can do this. And you know, being one of those guys, you do get more opportunities. And as you said, to your point, if you're one of those guys that does do things like that, then they're more inclined to help you as well. If you don't, you know, it's a two-way street. It's a give and take. It's a business relationship. They want you to fight, but if you're always playing hardball and going against the company, and of course, you got to look out for yourself, right? And you got to look after number one in this world, of course. But also, you know, you got to play the game to a certain degree.
And Dan Hook on Sirius XM gives his thoughts on Khabib versus Gaethje.
Yeah, like originally I was leaning more towards Gaethje, but the more time I have to think about it, I think just Khabib and his wrestling is just going to be too much. It's just your run to the title is completely different stylistically from the title matchup. Like if you look down the list in comparison, you know, we got Khabib as the head and shoulders, the champion, and wrestler. He's coming out there, he's gonna wrestler. But you go like further down, Dustin, striker, Tony, striker, me, striker, Conor McGregor, striker, like Charles Oliveira, jiu-jitsu and striker. Like you're going to get to that title shot, you're just doing striking training camps, essentially. A majority of your time is going to be spent striking. And then you fight the best wrestler in the world after that. That's why I think it's such a stylistic problem for a lot of guys making their way to the title and then having to completely shift. You know, if you were to fight, if it was like Islam Makhachev's number 2 and Kevin Lee was number 4 and you fought Kevin Lee, Islam Makhachev, and then Khabib, then I feel like it'll be a lot easier because then you've done 3 defensively wrestling-based training camps back to back, and then it'll be a lot easier coming into that fight for the title. So I think for Justin Gaethje, you know, being in all of these dog fights with all of these strikers and then having to fight the best wrestler in the world, just that transition is going to be too much.
He wants to kiss you. She was a lip. What is that? Foot. What is that? Oh, what is that? Oh, you put that on your head? What you put on your head? Huh?
What? What'd you say? You getting smart there? Except Roy. What? If Conor McGregor wants to fight. No problem, mate, yeah? No problem. A proper fight, but